We know we'll be concentrating on technology in 2025, so let's also look at that. According to our next speaker, the AI revolution will propel the industry's growth by 25% in the coming year. Among his top choices are Palantir, Microsoft, Tesla, and Nvidia. He is analyst Dan Ives of Wedbush Securities. For the last time this year, Dan, welcome. I apologize for your absence. I can say with some degree of confidence that throughout 2024, you were the most frequent guest on CNBC. We are very grateful for that, and even more so for the fact that you have been correct for the most part. It wasn't this year, Dan, but you'll be mistaken eventually. Given your continued extreme optimism about so many different tech brands, why don't you predict that it will be next year? No, I really appreciate that. Being on, for the entire year has been awesome. It's all about supporting investors during this AI revolution, in my opinion, and we believe that we're just in the second inning of a 9-inning game. And the multiplier is the subject of all we observe from all of our expenditures. I still think that tech stocks will be up 25% into next year, because for every dollar invested on Godfather AI on those chips, there is a $8.10 multiplier across the rest of tech. Additionally, this AI party lasts till 4 a.m., yet it is only 1 p.m. You've been saying it for a while, right? We might have been shifted an hour later, I believe. Along the way, I'm not certain. It is presently 10 p.m., having begun at 9 p.m. Well, 10 o'clock at night. For instance, Dan, there is a question about whether or not investors will begin to demand a tangible return on all of the investments that have been made, including the hundreds of billions that will have been made and will be invested by the hyperscalers in the upcoming year. Will that demand be made and fulfilled, in your opinion? You see, the great question has been that. The debacle at Palantir, in my opinion, marked the beginning of that turning moment because if you look at Palantir, it was the first use case in which we began to see these things unfold throughout the organization. Then Salesforce. What we witnessed from Benioff over that final quarter was a significant moment. In fact, I believe that the key will be software. I believe that all of the use cases are growing. We're talking to businesses about 5 times as many use cases for implementing AI. And those use cases have increased even in the past 6 months. And when everything unfolds, I believe that will be crucial. Look, during the next 3 years, $2 trillion will be spent on ad capital projects. It will be difficult to fight that. I understand, which is why I keep saying that the bears can find AI in the spreadsheets. These businesses must perform, but they have already done so. Now, the focus will shift to the remaining tech. For this reason, we listed the top 10 plays we believe will emerge in AI in 2025. Palantir and Salesforce are, in your opinion, the 2 greatest software plays when it comes to enterprise AI in particular. Which software businesses, in your opinion, have the most promise for artificial intelligence? You'd have to be a little more skeptical of Adobe's capabilities, in my opinion. I believe that there is still a great deal of promise. As you can see, I believe IBM has had a great deal of success. But who are the ones demonstrating it, in my opinion? Palantir is it. It's Salesforce. It's MongoDB, I believe. Snowflake is here. I believe Elastic is experiencing a significant growth renaissance. Additionally, you will witness a surge in mergers and acquisitions throughout the technology sector under Lina Khan's leadership at the FTC. These major tech companies will continue to grow in size and strength. And as the strong get stronger, I believe it will be a major theme that emerges throughout 2025. Dan, please explain why. Given that Palantir is trading at 50 times sales, and that insiders have been selling hundreds of millions of dollars worth of stock in the last 6 weeks, I shouldn't be worried if I own any of it. Additionally, it has gone vertical, and they continue to try to boost it by entering new markets. For a corporation that is admittedly well-positioned and appears to have devolved into a sort of cult, it simply feels like a highly promotional scenario. Yes, Mike, this is undoubtedly a bull-bear dispute. That heated bull-bear argument about Palantir has nearly reached the level of Tesla. Look, in my opinion, it's more important to consider the current trade price than the upcoming year. In my opinion, Palantir has the potential to become the next Salesforce or Oracle. This is a name that rises much higher from here if that's true, and I think it is. As they demonstrate these kinds of enterprise use cases, I believe that's why you need to concentrate on AIP in your discussion. And is it possible that this will eventually account for 30 to 40% of this total revenue? That, I believe, is the secret. However, I try not to be sucked into some of the commotion. Despite being a senior citizen, Palantir, haters detest, is a teenager as a stock since I only pay attention to all of our conversations. Additionally, I believe that this stock has the ability to reach 3 digits or higher. Unusual option activity from Nvidia. We're going to discuss it once more today, I believe. However, they were purchasing the January 140 strike calls there yesterday. They purchased thousands of those. I think they purchased about 50,000. Although the stock is down around 2% today, it has still risen more than 17% this year. However, I believe someone believes that, some profits will be capped. There are only roughly 10 days left before this expires because it was released within the weekly cycle on January 10. Traders sold more over 50,000 call verticals on this one. They purchased 50,000 of the 149 strike calls short after selling the 141 strike calls. Thus, a short call vertical to the upside that is $8 wide. On average, they received a credit of roughly $1.48 for this call vertical that was $8 broad. Over the course of the following week and a half, that raises the break-even point, at which they begin to lose money, to $142.48. That is almost 6% more than the share price as of right now. Therefore, someone believes that the stock will continue to consolidate or even decline. Although this has been the Magnificent Seven's worst performer thus far in December, someone is trying this. However, they maintained their risk definition, so they are aware of their exact possible losses even if the price rises above $149. As you can see, they made $1.48 on more than 50,000 of those Nvidia call verticals. That's our opinion then. What will occur the following year? Will these massive tech stocks continue to do this? We certainly do, but we need to take a different approach to this. We therefore support AI. However, what are the derivatives of AI? What are the second and third order derivatives of artificial intelligence then? Because most clients are unable to construct it on their own, the second order ones are looking at software businesses that are utilizing AI. It will be something they want to eat. As a result, businesses such as Salesforce, Adobe, ServiceNow, Nvidia, Palantir, and Oracle are intriguing, as you will be examining their service revenue in greater detail than previously. Consequently, a Magnificent Seven rotation is the other crucial component. Moving out of Nvidia, Meta, Microsoft, and Apple, and into Amazon, Tesla, and Google will be your course of action for the remainder of the year if you're scared to enter all 7. Is that your recommendation? Yes, without a doubt, if you're considering that. That's a different game though, because I'm in all 7 of the Magnificent 7. However, we're also examining IPO markets, which will be fascinating. There are numerous IPOs on the tech side in the near future. On the Databricks side, it is visible. Discord is visible. Clara, Stripe is visible. Chime. They will also have a significant impact on the fintech sector. Therefore, into 2025, people will still desire to play that game. Another thing to consider is that mergers and acquisitions will be more common, and many of these AI firms will only be able to expand by gaining greater scale and data sets. Additionally, you will see the M and a gain for potential acquisitions from major AI entities. Alright, so that play is also intriguing. Even if M&A is predicted to increase, large tech may be dealing with some of the same issues from a future Trump government. So if you get into M&A look, you have to wonder if some of these huge top tech businesses are actually going to be able to get bigger. When it comes to mergers and acquisitions, where would you concentrate? Where would you expect to find opportunities for deals and perhaps some space for some of these stocks to rise? There's an intriguing development though. Either you don't get to play at scale, or your market capitalization is $1 trillion. Additionally, a few businesses are sitting at roughly $500 billion. In the past, the Bodcoms and Oracles expanded through acquisition.